I speak against the motion not as a Jew or a Muslim, as a secularist who finds the ban on religious circumcision contrary to the strict separation of church and state. A firm belief of mine is that the state should remain entirely secular and for religious affairs to remain independent from state interference and vice versa. A ban on religious circumcision would show a total disregard for the autonomy of both the secular state and religious authorities. The state should not police the private religious concerns of its citizens. If secularists want to ensure religion, clerical and otherwise, does not interfere in the secular sphere of the state, then they must be consistent and oppose any state interference in religious affairs, including a ban on ritual circumcision. A strict separation of church and state means that there cannot be any exceptions to a social agreement. It is with this consideration that I recommend the German government's recent decision to overturn the controversial ban on medically unnecessary circumcision. I consider this important in maintaining the balance between the powers of secularism and private religious freedoms. One danger is that if the state was to decide on religious affairs, the division between the church and the state would be blurred, and the religious and secular spheres would creep into each other. Now, I understand that the circumcision ban in Cologne was not targeting just religious ritual circumcision, but any medically unnecessary circumcision.
So surely you said that the state does not have a right to get involved in this method of its citizens' right to practice religion. What about rights to practice religion? Should that be then construed as waging jihad against non-believers if it does involve mutilation of children?
Well, I speak as a libertarian. I don't think the state should police the private affairs of any citizens as long as it's peaceful. But it is difficult to determine if circumcision.
It's not peaceful, though, to mutilate the body of a child. If parents are allowed to mutilate the body of a child for the sake of their religion, what if the parents want to practice human sacrifice? Surely there has to be a line drawn somewhere. Surely, if you're a libertarian, you need to protect the liberties of the child too.
Well, cutting off your foreskin is not the same as sacrificing a child. It is difficult to determine if circumcision should be banned, even with secular medical concerns consideration. Now, non-Jewish and non-Muslim majority parts of the world, such as the United States, South Korea, Philippines, and the majority of Africa, have most of their newborn males circumcised for secular medical considerations. Now, to answer these two people before me, there's an argument that a male child should decide for himself at the right age whether or not he should be circumcised for either or both religious and medical concerns. A lot of the health benefits of circumcision tend to be preventive, and in certain regions of the world could save many lives. Deal with the least serious concerns would be phimosis, prostatitis, and other penile dysfunctions. And to the more serious illnesses, the Cocaine HIV/AIDS group has conducted a study of male circumcision back in just 2009, showing that a study of male circumcision for the implementation of heterosexual immunization of HIV in men, that they conclude that there's strong evidence that medical male circumcision reduces the immunization of HIV by heterosexual men by between 38% and 66% over 24 months.
So if you're a libertarian, then surely it should be the choice of that individual whether or not they get circumcised, rather than having this prevention of AIDS thrust upon them.
Well, I would take the idea that it's really up to the family. It's up to the parents to decide what's best for the kids rather than the state. It's warranted circumcision to be strongly considered, now back to my point, is that circumcision should be strongly considered in current HIV prevention measures. And another serious illness is hepatitis, and also herpes simplex virus 2. It's now a sexually transmitted disease that is reduced by 28%. It's not so serious for adult men, but newborn infants can get HIV virus, and that's actually quite lethal. Despite these positive medical considerations, circumcision has been dismissed as a superstitious Bronze Age practice by many, including secularists who have tended to allow their own anti-religious prejudices to colour the nature of the issue at present. I find the question of banning medically necessary circumcision poorly defined, as it fails to consider the positive benefits of circumcision, which may necessarily not be a strict life or death decision for the child, yet it may prevent future problems with sexual impotence due to an infection, or that's a minor problem, to a very serious problem, such as infection by a deadly virus, such as HIV. It is with this consideration that the World Health Organization recommends circumcision as a cost-effective measure against HIV infection in sub-Saharan Africa. A lot of circumcision has been traditionally performed under religious and tribal dispensations.
Surely it should be more important to educate people on the importance of contraception as opposed to forcing circumcision on a child. You say, for example, that it decreases the chance of passing such infection by around 90%. However, if the education on contraception such as condoms was enforced more thoroughly, surely wouldn't that solve the problem in a more effective and less cruel way?
Well, even in this kind of medically advanced period, I mean, despite condoms, there's still unwanted pregnancies and STDs. And in places like in some places of Africa, they're not this, contraception is not as available. And I think it would be wrong to dismiss circumcision if it is just found to have a dramatic decrease in HIV infections. Now, I agree with recent findings of the American Academy of Pediatrics, who concluded that evaluation of current evidence indicates that the health benefits of a newborn outweigh the risks, and the benefits of a newborn male circumcision justify access to this procedure for those families who choose it. However, the AAP have also stated that parents should weigh the health benefits and risks in light of their own religious, cultural, and personal preferences, as the medical benefits alone may not outweigh these medical considerations for individual families. Ultimately, I believe it's up to the family, secular or religious, to decide what is best for the welfare of their son, and the state should not interfere in the considerations of a medical procedure that is the most performed and one of the safest in the world.